This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for joining. We'll be live on the air in just a few minutes. And of course, we have a lot to cover. I'm going to lead today with going over all of this stuff that happened over the weekend. Okay, because I think that's got to be talked about. And not everybody follows the news over the weekend, so a lot of people aren't familiar with everything that's happened. So that's what I'm going to be leading with. But there's a lot of other things to cover too, but that's what I'm going to start with. And of course, taking your calls. Okay, I'm just doing a sound check. Okay. All right, we are standing by. Okay. All right. Boy, oh boy, what a day. What a day. Yeah, a lot of people are not familiar with all of this mess that happened over the weekend with Bongino threatening to quit. And so I have to go over all of that and give you the biggest updates. And the biggest drop out of the whole thing, no one's talking about, which is huge. And my wife got me this new alligator Alcatraz shirt. Just got it over the weekend. Pretty cool shirt. I love it. Alligator Alcatraz. That's right. Welcome, everyone. I have so much to cover today. And your calls, of course, as well. Oh, yeah. And your calls are welcome. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat when we get started. It is raining, yep. You may hear some thunder and some lightning during the stream today. We'll be live in about 8 minutes. I'm just waiting to hear from Mike. He'll tell me what time. It'll be about 8 or 9 minutes. Welcome. Very happy MAGA Monday morning. It's one of those days, I'll tell you. I hope some of you are coming to my appearance on Saturday. It is completely filled. They called me when I got off the air Friday. Attorney Barry Siegel called me. He said there's no room left. So it's a full. So I appreciate you guys that are coming on Saturday. Completely full. That's awesome. 8 days before the event. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, oh boy. About 6-7 minutes. Trump rocks, that's for sure. Absolutely Trump rocks. No doubt about it. It was a crazy weekend of news. There's no getting around that. Oh, we got about 5 minutes to go. My cats are going nuts over here. Well, if MAGA failed, you should be happy. There's a lot of liberals out there pretending to be MAGA. Yeah. They're all here. We've got this toy that one of our cats is obsessed with. It hangs from the door jamb. From the top, it hangs down, and it's got like this big rubber band kind of bungee thing on it. He pulls it halfway across the house and then lets it go, and then he chases after it again. Okay. 5 minutes we'll be live. 5 minutes exactly, actually. I just got a text from Mike at the radio station. Coca-Cola, what are you doing, man? Making noise. I'm going to go into all of it when we go live, but I'm going to wait because I don't want to repeat myself. But you're welcome to call me as we go through it. Okay. All right. About 3.5 minutes and we'll be live. Yep, it is 6:01. I tell you, I like having cats a lot better than dogs. I love dogs, but they're just, it's like having a 2-3-year-old child. Dogs are just too much work. I just don't have the time to dedicate to a dog. Cats pretty much take care of themselves. Clean their litter, feed them. Plus we have 4, so they keep each other busy. We had 5, but my daughter took one of her cats. We still have one of my daughter's cats, but she took one of her cats with her. Yeah, my cats like birds too. Yeah, they'd love to have a bird in their mouth. A little over 2 minutes. Get it? This is my job, Greg. This is my job. $6. A stone is at 10 pounds, correct? Pepsi. Pepsi and Coca-Cola are the 2 youngest. Well, and you got to walk them and all of that. Dogs are a lot of work. You've got to have the time to dedicate, which I don't have. Thank you, Jack. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Just over a minute. Roy, $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, Roy. Greatly appreciated. We have 1 minute. Seconds. 'Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. It is Monday morning already. Can you believe it? The weekend has been one of the biggest news weekends we've had in a long time, and that's saying a lot because with Trump back in the White House, there's always so much news. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We are under lots of rain and thunder this morning. You may hear it in the background, and who knows, we may even lose power. You never know. It is hurricane season here in Florida. Okay, we got a lot to talk about, and a lot has happened in Trump world since Friday. And there's been a lot of developments over the weekend, and I'm going to go through them all, and we're going to talk about them and take your calls. And there's so much to talk about today, but I'm going to start with the big elephant in the room. Now, of course, a lot of last week's discussion involved the files and the list, and Trump said, well, why are you talking about that? We're not going to release it. There's nothing to release. And there was a lot of back and forth last week. Fire Pam Bondi and all of this. And it was really, it was a wild week of that. There's no doubt about it. And then when we thought things were moving on, there was a big announcement on Friday And then a big happening on Saturday, and then more has happened since even then, all right, since you went to bed last night probably. So Friday afternoon, late in the day, it came out through Laura Loomer broke this story, and then everybody picked up on it, but Laura Loomer broke this story, and that is Dan Bongino was thinking of resigning as deputy director of the FBI. In fact, not only did he not show up to work on Friday, he didn't show up to work on Thursday either. And there was a meeting that he had, that Kash Patel and Bongino had. And now there's the exact details of who was in the meeting is a little sketch because the different reports are saying slightly different things. But all of them say that it was Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, okay, were in this meeting. Whether or not Pam Bondi was there is unknown, but I don't think she was, but maybe it'll come out she was, but it's not important. But anyway, Dan Bongino, so goes the reports, was furious that the list and the records were not released last week. And his anger was directed at Pam Bondi. And the way the story came down, when this first broke in the afternoon on Friday, was that Dan Bongino says, it's her or me. And the internet just started going viral over this. I mean, huge. And we knew it was really getting down to it. Now, you know, when this came, and then there were some developments on Friday with that. I mean, there was a lot's happened over the weekend, guys. This was a super big news weekend involving everything involving this stuff. But no, it was well confirmed that it was Pam Bondi or me, Dan Bongino said, and he was fuming. Now, the thing about Bongino and either Bondi or me, I was very curious how this plays out because, you know, I was always a big fan of The Apprentice and The Celebrity Apprentice. And if you ever watch that, Trump does not like quitters. A lot of people, when they would get to the boardroom on The Apprentice, knew that they were going to get fired or felt they might get fired, and they sometimes would quit or talk about quitting before they got fired. And anytime that happened, you could see Trump does not like quitters. He does not like quitters. And I was curious how this was going to play out with Bongino. And then, I don't know, about an hour or two after that broke, and that, by the way, that was an officially confirmed report. Dan Bongino had not gone to work since Wednesday and was thinking of leaving, and there was even some talk that he raised his voice when speaking with Susie Wiles, that it was either Pam Bondi goes or he goes. And then a couple hours after that, and it was broken by Laura Loomer, but then all the mainstream media started picking up on it. And then a couple hours go by, an hour, maybe two, and then all of a sudden Kash Patel was saying the same thing. And, you know, so we're wondering what's going on here? What's going on here? And there's a lot of possibilities. I mean, you know, which I'll get into some more details as the conversation continues, but I just want to give everybody that wasn't following the news over the weekend, I want to give you an update of everything that went on. So that was Friday. Then on Saturday, over the weekend, here in Florida, in Tampa, Florida, Charlie Kirk had his Turning Point USA conference in Tampa. And Charlie Kirk, Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, who did I leave out? Who else did this? Let's see here. Steve Bannon. Oh, Laura Ingraham. They all went up on stage and started trashing Bondi, supporting the stand that Bongino was making, and attacking Trump and what he's done so far as not releasing the files and the list. And this was getting really heated because, you know, and how this happened, I'm not sure. But one of them went on stage and did it first, and there's like 1,000 people in the audience at 900 and something I heard reported. So there's like 1,000 people in the audience. I don't know who did it first, but they got this huge audience reaction. So they all started doing it, and sometimes they were on stage together, taking polls, getting the crowd, yeah. It was the way I would describe it. It was like they were throwing the mob red meat. It was like the old days of Rome. And what was going on at Turning Point although there were some reasonable voices like Roger Stone, and I'm going to play a clip coming up later at some point today from the great Roger Stone, who was speaking at Turning Point. But they were just really ripping Trump. They were ripping Trump right and left over this. And they were getting the crowd riled up over this. And when I got up on Saturday morning, because the Turning Point's a weekend-long event. It started on Friday. So when I got up Saturday morning, X was filled with all of these clips of Laura Ingraham, Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and others on stage attacking Trump over the files and the list, riling up the crowd against Trump, and it was going around and around in a circle. And I didn't really appreciate that too much. And what's going on with at least I think this is what happened at Turning Point. One person did it, the crowd went wild, and all of them are there backstage, and they want the crowd to go wild. So they came out and did a repeat of it. And then social media went wild. Well, then something even more happened, which I'll tell you after the break, okay? This is insane what happened. Now, I want to talk about the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. Oh, man. I've been sleeping on the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper for several years now, and you guys know how little sleep I get. I just don't have time. I do this morning show. I do a podcast. I'm always on YouTube. I got a lot of things going on. And I get about 4 hours of sleep a night, but the sleep I get is well-rested, full REM sleep because of my MyPillow mattress topper. When I was a kid growing up, you could flip a mattress, right? You'd have a mattress for a few years, and it'd get lumpy, bumpy, lopsided. You'd just flip it, and you'd start all over, and you'd have a whole new mattress, right? Well, years ago, the mattress companies wised up and said people are buying like 2 mattresses in their whole lifetime. So now it's like a box spring underneath. You can't flip mattresses anymore. Well, have you seen the prices of mattresses? Holy smokes. My first, 3, 4 cars added up didn't cost as much as mattresses cost these days. That's not an exaggeration. And you longtime listeners out there, you remember the cars I used to drive when I was starting out, right? Yeah, I'm not kidding. But if you have a lumpy mattress, a lopsided mattress, or think you need a new mattress for any reason whatsoever, get a 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. With our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, 30% off. They come in every mattress size there is. I have them on my master bed. I have one on my guest bed. Got one for my daughter for her house, and even got one for my daughter's sleeper sofa inside the couch. So basically for my own selfish purposes. But when I sleep over or the grandparents sleep over, we got a comfortable mattress. So go to MyPillow.com. Get your MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, 30% off. Comes in every mattress size with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, KANE. We'll be right back. Okay, so if you're on hold, hang in there. If you want to call in about this, please do. I'll take calls throughout the program. The number is pinned in the live chat if you're watching live, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Oh, man, I tell you. Charlie Kirk, I bet you, if he hasn't done it yet, he'll be apologizing to the president, don't you think? Mm-hmm. If you're new to the program, make sure you subscribe. Okay. Oh, boy. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, this is a new shirt my wife just got me, an alligator Alcatraz shirt. It just came over the weekend in the mail. I love this shirt. This is an awesome shirt. Front and back. Alligator Alcatraz. Pretty cool, huh? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a great shirt. I love it. First time I'm wearing it. I tried it on when it first came in the mail. But first time I'm actually wearing it. Oh yeah, I love this shirt. If you're watching on the green screen, this is a bright yellow, but the green screen makes it look a little darker. I wasn't sure I'd be able to wear it with the green screen effect, but it's working out fine. Of course I'll wear it in public. Are you kidding? I live in Florida, man. I'll wear this. I'm going to wear this all day today with my Make America Great Again hat. Absolutely. Don't you want criminals locked up? What do you want to live in an anarchy like Haiti? Welcome to the new subscribers. Welcome, welcome. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and I'll continue with the events, and I'll take your calls. You're welcome to call in about this. I mean, it's just, this is a radio station break we're in right now. That's Pepsi. Hey, Pepsi. About 90 seconds, we'll be back. Welcome, everyone. A little more than a minute, we'll be back. One minute, we'll be back. Thirty seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Monday morning, I'm giving a recap of everything. So if you're just tuning in, so Bongino and Kash Patel were threatening to resign their positions as Deputy Director and Director of the FBI on Friday. I went through the details of that. Then Saturday, Charlie Kirk, Friday and Saturday, had this Turning Point convention that has been made famous and everything else because of the president. And it turned into a canceled Trump event, really, is what it did. Bannon, Ingram, Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, and there was someone else whose name I'm forgetting, went up on stage and turned the 1,000 people in attendance at the Turning Point in the audience into this anti-Trump crowd over the list and the files. And when I woke up and saw that, these clips of the Friday events on Saturday morning, I knew, I did a live stream about this on YouTube Saturday morning, took live calls on it. Maybe you tuned into that, you should. And I said, you know, President Trump's going to see this. He wakes up early on Saturday morning and he does what we all do. He goes through the news and he saw what was happening at Turning Point USA. Turning Point was Turning Point against Trump. And then all these people are saying, oh, well, we're the real MAGA. What, you're real MAGA, but Trump isn't? Trump is MAGA. So President Trump put out what may be his longest post ever on Truth Social. I'm talking about a very long post. And in that post, he said that Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Bongino are doing a great job. Stop talking about Epstein. Stop attacking Pam Bondi. Stop attacking Kash and Bongino. And he wrote a lot. I mean, it was, I don't know how many words it was, but it was, I think it's very well easily the longest post that President Trump has ever made. If it's not, it's pretty darn close to it, isn't it? And then he dropped something about the Epstein files, and he said that the files, which would include the list, were written by the Obama regime. Isn't that something? Okay, which is something we haven't really heard, and at least not from somebody who we trust in power. But that didn't stop things, okay? Throughout the entire weekend, the internet was filled with people claiming to be MAGA attacking the president. President Trump's post on Truth Social had more comments on it, and people were even talking about this in the media. President Trump's post on Truth Social telling everyone to not talk about Epstein anymore, lay off Bondi, lay off Bongino, lay off Kash, has gotten more responses than any post the president has ever made on Truth Social. And the responses were getting a lot of responses. I mean, it just, and it was almost all negative against the president. People were even trying to get me to do this. Are you kidding me? I'm always with Trump. I am MAGA for life. You'll never hear me take any side against Trump. You'll never hear me criticize Trump. And I was really upset about it on Friday, especially yesterday, because yesterday was 1 year since the Never-Trumpers shot the president in Butler. And then they did it a few weeks later. They tried to do it again at the golf course. And you've got to understand something. Why did they shoot President Trump in Butler? Why? Saved by a miracle. Why did they shoot the president in Butler? You know why they shot him? To stop him from doing everything he's doing now in his second term. That's why. You got to remember that. There's another thing you've got to remember. President Trump knows a lot more. Whatever decision his reasoning behind not releasing the files or the list, we don't know. Now, I suspect at some point we're going to find out some more details as to why, because there's so much talk about it, but maybe we won't. And many people are speculating on all kinds of things. Some are saying, and some are mainstream, like this may have been Cheryl Atkinson, because she commented on this over the weekend, but it may not be Cheryl Atkinson. There were a lot of credible journalists commenting on this over the weekend. After President Trump, and if you're on hold, stand by. After the bottom of the hour break, I'll start taking some calls on this. And there's more to share too, because the biggest news out of this over the weekend, I haven't even gotten to yet, and no one's talking about, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. You won't want to miss it. It's not just it's so big that I got to give it its proper due. I don't want to just do a throwaway with it. But everyone, it was Cheryl Atkinson or someone of her level who said they believe, and they have sources, they believe after Trump put out this True Social post saying that Obama's administration wrote the list and wrote the files and all this stuff, that the Autopen administration of Biden and the Obamas, that they've added a bunch of things to the files, just putting people's names on lists and such. I don't know. This is what I know from just life experience in general, outside of this. whenever you're trying to predict someone's motivations for doing something, you're almost always wrong. And, even in my own case, I see this so much. Like yesterday, I didn't, I do, YouTube videos and podcasts throughout the weekends, every weekend. But this weekend, I did do a podcast on Saturday, but I didn't on Sunday morning. And I look in the afternoon but I did do one in the afternoon on Sunday. And I'm reading comments and I'm getting DMs from people. And people are saying, "Oh, you're avoiding the topic. That's why you're not doing a live stream." No, I was spending time with my family over the weekend, my daughter over the weekend, and I didn't do a live. And I'm getting DMs from people leaving me comments on YouTube with all these bizarre reasons I didn't do a video on Sunday morning, even though I did one on Saturday and took calls, and everyone was wrong, So if you sit around and try to guess what Trump's motivations are as to not releasing this, you're going to be wrong. I mean, I've speculated too. Maybe he made a deal to get the big, beautiful bill passed. We don't know. But this is something we do know. Okay? This is something we do know. President Trump has a very good reason for everything that he does. And he knows a lot more about this situation than we know. So the president's reason for not releasing the list or the files and saying, stop talking about it, stop bashing Pam Bondi and all these people, it's a very good reason. Regardless of what you or I may personally think, he's got a very good reason for doing this, based on things that we don't know. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you're really a Trump supporter, if you're really MAGA, you trust Trump. If you can't trust Trump, who are you going to trust, right? And he's got a very good reason for handling this the way he's handling it. And you've got to trust him to handle things properly, to get done what's got to get done. That's it. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. He's got a very good reason for doing this. And I trust in, now I want to see everything too, and the video's got problems. I know all the story. I know the metadata said about it was in a different, on a different floor of the jail. I know all, believe me, I know everything that's going on. And I want answers too. However, President Trump told us to move on from it. And I trust in President Trump enough to know that he's got very good reasons that we're not aware of for doing this. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. I want to remind you guys, my appearance with Attorney Barry Siegel is this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I look forward to meeting you guys there. And but when I got off the air on Friday, Attorney Barry Siegel called me and he said, "Brian," he says, "we don't have any more space. You've filled it up." So it's a free event, but it's a free sold out event. There's no more space. So those of you that called and reserved your spots, you're locked in, guys, and that's really awesome. I appreciate that. So I look forward to seeing you all on Saturday at Attorney Barry Siegel's office. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back. Okay. Now, guys, if you'd like to support my content, become a Patreon supporter. There's a link to my Patreon page in the description of the video. And if you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to commercial-free editions of all of my podcast episodes, plus access to a lot of content that I post nowhere else, including vlogs and videos and other things that my wife and I both post to my Patreon page. on top of getting commercial-free editions of all of my podcast episodes. And if you're a top Patreon supporter, you get your name up on the screen and a thank you on each and every podcast episode. So the names on the screen, these are my top Patreon supporters, but all Patreon supporters have access to commercial-free editions of the podcast. And there's a link in the description of the video to my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow is the direct URL. Patreon.com/RealBrianCraigShow. But again, there's a link in the description below. And actually, I'm going to have to add another top Patreon supporter to the list. And then on the graphic, let's see here. Janice. So Janice will have her name added to the top Patreon supporter list today for the next podcast episode. So welcome and thank you all for your support. Okay, we'll be back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back in about a minute. This is our bottom of the hour break for the radio stations. Oh. Thirty seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, and there's more. I've only scratched the surface with what's been going on with this drama over the weekend, including the biggest news of all, which I've not gotten to yet. But let me take a call or two before I do that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, hey, Richie.
Morning. Your first criticism of the morning is coming from me, okay?
Of course.
I agree 150% with you, 150%. Everything President Trump has done, even the fact that he almost lost his life for this country, okay? We all agree there. But you have no objectivity because the position you put yourself in, I will never disagree with President
Listen,
Trump.
Richie, I'm not some, hold on, no, you hold on. I'm not some pathetically insecure person like Michael Savage or you that every other Thursday have to come out and say, I'm an independent man and trash Trump. I'm here to tell you, this is a unique and special presidency that gets certain privileges. Among those is a free pass because he's got to get done what he's getting done.
There's no free pass when it comes to trafficking children, and for whatever, there's no good reason to keep it back.
Okay. No, there's, first of all, Richie, I'm not going to get, we're all against the trafficking of children, okay? First of all, everybody's opposed to that, including the president. You agree, right? And okay. Now, in fact, President Trump, hold on, slow down a second. So we're all against trafficking of children and sex trafficking. And I think we can agree that in both of President Trump's terms, he's done massive work to stop just that. If you remember, in his first term, he shut down Backpage, which was the international website where all the prostitution was being advertised nationwide, right? Did a big bust. In this administration, he shut down all that child and sex trafficking that was being done through the southern border. And a lot of these deportations is shutting down. So President Trump has shut down more sex trafficking and child trafficking than any other man who's lived in the history of humanity. So to say that he's not, so that's an important thing.
You're leaving this out, okay? You came out and said that under The Apprentice, he hates people that quit, which I agree. But he's also the most loyal person in the world to people that are his friends and his allies. And if any of his allies and friends are on a list, that and it could be world leaders, whatever, or it could be countries, he's very loyal.
See, now you're at the point now where you're just making crap up.
I'm not.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know who or what's on the list. And listen. Let me ask you this. President Trump, who has stopped more children and sex trafficking than any other man who's ever lived throughout the entire history of humanity, that we can agree on with what he's done. No one's ever done something like this. If there was sex trafficking going on or people trafficking children, you think President Trump would turn a blind eye to that and allow them to continue to do something so sick and twisted? Is that how you think of him?
I think that he'll protect his friends and allies.
And slow down. Okay, so you're saying that President Trump has friends and allies that are sex trafficking children, and he's covering that up. Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you're?
I'm saying I don't think. Let me explain to you one thing. I don't know, you don't know, but this could be the biggest thing in the world. I believe he put Pam Bondi out there to do all of to stop this thing, and you say no, this was Pam Bondi. It came out of
no. Are you saying that President Trump has? Hold on, hold on. Are you saying that President Trump? You believe he has friends and allies that are trafficking children and sex trafficking, and he's turning a blind eye? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think that happened in the past. I think that's over with. But I think that whoever I believe Alan Dershowitz when he says the list of people are being protected. I believe that, and I the reason why I don't know.
All right, Richie, appreciate the call. Oh boy, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. Okay. Now, if you're on hold, stand by, because I want to get to the one big reveal, and I want to tell you this, okay? Think about this. Did you heard what Richie said? He's covering up for friends and allies. In Trump's first term, when he shut down Backpage, there was a Justice Department raid, and they shut that down. Prostitution for both adults and children was being advertised all over the world through that, and he shut it down. And shutting down, and not only has he shut down the child and sex trafficking through the southern border in his first term, but he did it again, even more so this time around. He shut down the largest sex trafficking operation in history, the U.S. southern border. So for those of you out there that would dare say that he would cover up, he has friends and allies that are doing it, and he's covering it up, are you out of your minds? Listen to yourself. That's how you think President Trump rolls? Oh, hold on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name's Jake. I'm calling from Ohio, and, I'm just very confused of what's been happening lately, with all, the allegations and stuff with Trump. I voted for Trump back in November, but it seems like the whole left side's just switching stuff up over media and stuff. I don't like to trust any of that. So I don't know. I just want to know the truth. You know what I mean?
What when you say the truth about what?
I don't know. All the allegations against him.
What allegations? What allegations? What allegations? Give me an allegation.
I don't know. The most recent thing that I've been seeing is how they're saying that Trump is on the Epstein list and all that stuff.
Please. Please.
I don't know. I don't want to believe any of that.
Why would you believe something so ridiculous? See, why would you believe that?
Well, I never said I believed it.
Of course he's not on the list. Of course he's not.
Well, yeah, but I was just bringing up one example, though.
Well, what else?
It's just that.
Well, what else? What other allegation? What other allegation? What other allegation?
No, like, I'm just saying, like, how, if you look at your, like, YouTube chat and stuff, people are saying, like, Trump's a pedo. I'm not saying I'm
well, there's a lot of liberals in there.
I just want to know I just want to know, like, why do they act like that, too? Like, do you know why?
What do you mean?
They throw up so many... Why the left side just acts like that?
Well, whenever there's the left always spread lies and slanders about any Republican that's in the news or in office. Mm-hmm. That's just what they've always done. There's never been a time when the left did not do that. Even mm-hmm. Martin Luther King. If you ever heard these stories about Martin Luther King, this is something the left started because he was disrupting the Democrats' segregation. That when he was traveling around from city to city, he had a woman, he was having an affair with a new woman in every city, and of course they were white women because they thought that would turn people against him. Democrats always make up garbage about successful people that are conservative. And by the way, Martin Luther King was a Republican. He was a conservative fighting the Democrats. But that's just what they do. All right, appreciate the call. But if you listen to me, you'll start to learn. Okay? All right. Oh, hold on a second here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is RH from Lakeland.
All right, RH. What's up?
Hey, we've been watching this. I know you're a very close ally with President Trump.
Absolutely. Proudly.
And I am too. The moment that guy rode the escalator down and threw his hat in the ring, I support him 100%.
Why don't you cut to the butt that's coming from you?
Right. Well, anyways, we know their MO, the left's MO, the Democrats' MO. Falsely accuse Trump of what they've done themselves. Take over the investigation, right, and destroy all the evidence on themselves.
Yeah, and you're right, okay? It's rules for radicals, right? Saul Alinsky, accuse your opponent of doing what you're doing. And if you look through everything that they've done to President Trump, most of it, I mean, there's some exceptions like the assassination attempts, right? But most of what they've done is to try to turn MAGA against him. Okay, if we arrest him, those MAGA people, they'll okay, well, they didn't turn against him, but if we get a mugshot, so they get the mugshot. They're always trying to turn us against him. And a lot of dummies like Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon and others that are just trying to be trending on X are out there helping these lunatics and turning people against Trump and going out on stage at Turning Point and trashing Trump so they can get the crowd going nuts. They should be ashamed of themselves, what they're doing. And a lot of the people out there are fake MAGA, claiming to be MAGA and Trump supporters. Like that guy I was just talking to. Well, I voted for Trump, but, what about these allegations? There's a lot of fake MAGA out there, too.
Right. And a lot of people fail to remember. Right now, as I'm speaking, this was all started basically with Pam Bondi in Florida. Look at all the arrests they're making.
Exactly.
Covert
and I was telling the caller earlier, President Trump has shut down more sex trafficking and child trafficking than any man who's ever lived. But now all of a sudden he's turning a blind eye to trafficking. You got a bunch of idiots out there that are saying things that just don't make sense. Hey, listen, from Lakeland, welcome, and thanks for your call. I got to move on, but you made some good points. Now, it was raining. I went to get coffee this morning. It's raining. It's raining when I get home. It was raining all weekend long. We're in hurricane season. If you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof, call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing. Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing covers both the east and west coast of Florida, everywhere in between. He works with every type of roofing material and on every type of structure, residential, commercial, municipal. He can handle it all. Okay, give him a call. And you know, he's also a general contractor, not just a roofer. And what that means is, under Florida law, Tom Laporta can deal directly with your insurance company on the cost of the repair or the replacement of your roof. Now, that saves you a whole heck of a lot of time. But a lot of people, their insurance company doesn't want to pay, and they hire a public adjuster. Some people even go to lawyers and hire lawyers. Many years ago, I went to a public adjuster. It took them a year to get me the money. Then I had to give them, I think it was 20% of what I got from the insurance company. So I had to come up with 20% of the new roof out of my pocket. If you call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing, you may be able to avoid all of that. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. Call or text 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. Call us on hold, stand by. We'll be back with your calls after this. All right, I'll get to the big story about this when we get back before I take more calls. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. This is a radio station break. Oh, just popped my knee. Yep. People are out of their minds, really. Oh, cool. Yeah, the rainy season is something else. I don't mind the rain because it's so hot this time of year. I mean, it does keep me from riding my MAGA scooter. We'll be back in about a minute. In just about a minute. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're back. I'm Brian. Callers on hold. You stand by. We're covering all the weekend's events that happen with the files and the list. And I've only scratched the surface. There's so much more that's happened involving this with the president. But I'm going to take some more calls. And as the conversation goes, I'll be dropping all of that information. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Daryl calling from Georgia.
Hey, Daryl.
Brian, I'm 1,000% behind President Trump.
But.
You know, I think, no, there's no but.
Good.
I'll say this. I think people don't not really getting how complicated this thing is. That the administration finds itself in, because you look at what's going to probably be the global impact of releasing the names of these people, because it's just not Tom and Sue. We're talking possibly leaders from other countries being a part of that. I'm not saying prime ministers and nothing like that, but it could be. We just don't know. I just think that we need to trust Trump. Every time, whenever Trump does something, everybody wants to jump to conclusions.
That's right.
Like with what happened in Iran. He's going to start World War III. No, that's not the way Trump operates. I think that people need to go on ahead, a lot of people, even these so-called influencers, read Trump's book, Art of the Deal. It reveals exactly how he operates. Mm-hmm. He's a very measured thinker.
Yep.
He doesn't just fly off the cuff and does things.
That's right.
This guy is going to go down as the greatest president this country's ever had. We just need to be patient and allow him to make the decisions, because all of his decisions have been right. And so I just think people need to be patient. Stop.
Well, what happened is at Turning Point over the weekend, Charlie Kirk, with the help of Tucker and Laura Ingraham and Steve Bannon and a few others, went on stage trashing the president all weekend at Turning Point USA.
And you know what? And I like those guys. I like Charlie Kirk. I follow those guys. But I don't agree with them on this. I just don't.
No. No, he made a big mistake. And Laura Loomer really called him out. And, I would imagine if it's not happened already, he'll be on the phone apologizing to the president for what he did.
Well, he's not going to be the only one. A lot of them will be apologizing. Already, Tucker already apologized over the Iran thing, over the Iran thing.
Yeah, well, he was trashing Trump again over the list over the weekend at Turning Point.
Yeah. So all of these people, I don't know if they're trying to get clicks or whatever on X.
That's a lot of it.
But
it's a lot of it.
They need to go on ahead and they need to go on ahead and let Trump be Trump.
Correct.
That guy has been right on. He has been right on everything.
You're right on the money. All right, appreciate the call. Great call. Thank you so much. Okay, now I want to share this. This was amazing. This is at Turning Point, and I've got some other things from Turning Point I want to share too. But this is amazing. John Solomon, who he's a well-respected reporter. Most everybody likes him that I know. He dropped on an interview on Real America's Voice. John Solomon dropped something huge. No one's picked up on this. I covered this over the weekend, but I want to play this a couple times on the show today. This is the first time. This is John Solomon, very credible reporter. He's being interviewed on Real America's Voice at Turning Point USA, and this is after all these people took to the stage to rip Trump and all of this, even though Trump said lay off Bondi and everything. Listen to this. This John Solomon on Real America's Voice.
cartel is going nowhere. I hope Dan Bongino isn't going anywhere, but I do think he's going to take some time over the weekend to think that through.
Okay, so John Solomon, who's got a lot of great sourcing, he's very well respected, dropped the biggest story out of all of this, and other than Real America's Voice, and I did cover this on Saturday, no one else has picked up on this because they're all clickbaiters. They're all trying to get people to retweet and click them and all this stuff, and basically becoming into a mob of cancel culture, some of these so-called MAGA people that we thought were friends and allies. But John Solomon said we had one big beautiful bill, now we've got one big beautiful indictment coming. And he said that the Justice Department, that's Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Bongino, have been putting together one big case of all the lawfare going back 10 years, which would be to the fake dossier and the wiretapping on Trump Tower until all the way through the campaign. So that would be Fannie, Letitia, Mershon. So we've all been wondering, well, why haven't they gotten Letitia? Why haven't they gone after Mershon? Now we're finding from John Sullivan, they've got one big, beautiful case against all these lawfare people in one. And that may be one of the big reasons President Trump is telling people, lay off Pam Bondi, because as the Attorney General, this is from the Justice Department, according to Solomon, that's her. That is spec-freaking-tacular. One big, beautiful indictment. So there's not a case against Mershon or Fannie or Comey or Brennan. It's one huge, I guess, like a big RICO case. This is amazing. And they're going to have a reveal at some point with the one big, beautiful lawfare case. This is amazing. Have you heard this anywhere else other than Solomon dropping this on Real America's Voice? And if you caught me on Saturday, I talked about this on my podcast. But I am shocked that this hasn't been picked up. I'm going to play this a couple times on the show today because I think it's so important. If you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I want to talk about the 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper, which is such a game changer. You know, the first night I slept on it, I came home, it was a Saturday, and the 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper was on my front porch in the box. Brought it in, put it on the bed. My wife and I slept on it that first night, a Saturday night. Woke up on Sunday morning and the sun was out. Even on the weekends I wake up early, but I slept all the way through until the sun was up. That's how well you sleep with the My Pillow mattress topper. The My Pillow 3-inch mattress topper, which you can get 30% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, turns your entire mattress into a big My Pillow. So if you think you need a new mattress, or your mattress is uneven or lumpy, one side's lower than the other, get yourself the 3-inch My Pillow mattress topper. It's amazing. It will change the way you sleep forever. I've had mine for years. I love it. It's machine washable and dryable too. It fits on the mattress perfectly. It comes in every mattress size. 30% off. Oh, did I say it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, for 30% off. Comes in every mattress size. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Back after this. All right, this is our top-of-the-hour radio station break. Those of you on hold, hang in there. And those of you that are new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. If you're new, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Now, what do you guys think about this? Don't you like that, what John Sullivan reported? That Pam Bondi's been putting together this one big, beautiful indictment, one big, beautiful case? Now, that would be a press conference. Holy smokes. That would be huge. Huge. And for him to drop that like that, and no one pick up on it. Why? I don't know why other people have not picked up on that. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I would much rather see that than what they've been talking about, wouldn't you? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be back shortly. Hold on, let's see here. We'll be back in 1 minute. We'll be back live. And I'll go back to the phones. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free, and it's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Okay. Oh, man. I mean, this whole idea that Trump is covering up child and sex trafficking after what he's done stopping such things is absurd. Absurd. And it seems to be that he has a lot more MAGA support than we've been led to believe, huh? All right, less than 30 seconds. We'll be back. Stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. If you're on hold, stand by. If you're just tuning in, I'm covering the whole weekend events from Dan Bongino on Friday threatening to quit to we're not even done with the weekend events yet. I'm going to take some calls in just a moment, but all these people that dare to suggest that President Trump is covering up child trafficking or sex trafficking, President Trump has shut down more child trafficking and sex trafficking than any other person who's ever lived just in the last couple of months. So to say that he's turning a blind eye to what one of his greatest accomplishments is insane. Listen to yourself speak. Doesn't even make sense. And, you know, these people, these so-called MAGA influencers that are trashing Trump over this to get views, clicks, and retweets and try to get trending, shame on all of them. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, I've been telling everybody this is a big nothing burger. There's no criminal list that they can prosecute anybody. Yeah, there may be a list of people that knew Epstein, and that's what we want to know who Epstein. Well, the Department of Justice isn't supposed to be telling you personal things that people. They're supposed to only be interested in criminality. So there's no criminality. It's becoming like the Russian dossier, but nobody wants to let it go for some reason. I don't get it, man. Enough of this. They got to stop. President Trump said everything's okay. As soon as he says everything's okay, I say everything's okay. That's it.
Exactly. If you're MAGA, you got to. If you don't trust Trump, you're not a Trump supporter. You know, and all these people that act like, well, I'm true MAGA. Trump's not. He is MAGA. The nerve. Appreciate the call, Doug. Oh man. So this is another clip I want to play. This is the great Roger Stone at Turning Point USA in Tampa over the weekend. Okay, there you have it. You know, and here you got Roger Stone. Roger Stone went to jail for the president. Now all of a sudden people don't trust Roger Stone? Are you kidding me? Roger Stone stood by President Nixon in the darkest days, and he's stood by Trump where he even lost his freedom because of his support for the president. And he's standing by what they're doing and standing by our president. So all of a sudden, there's people that are more MAGA than Roger Stone, who went to jail, who was bankrupted by these people, who had his home raided by by the Autopin administration and CNN? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Stephen from Wisconsin.
Hey, Stephen.
Hey, I just wanted to say two things quick. If people don't remember, Biden was in office, and if there was any shred of evidence on any of this stuff, it would have gotten released a long time ago.
Correct.
And second thing, go back in history. Every single thing that's bad that's ever happened, Democrats are behind it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So
That's true.
yeah, I just wanted to echo that. And I'm voted for the man 3 times. I'm not
Awesome.
changing my course now.
Awesome.
I love Trump. And
Actually, 6 if you include the primaries, right?
well, yeah.
Don't forget those. Well, it's nice to hear someone with their head screwed on straight in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you won the swing, all the swing states this time, because I'm pretty sure you won it last time too. But
Yeah. All right, take care. Good to hear from you. You're on the right side of history, my friend. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mark Randolph, how are you today, Ryan?
All right, Mark.
Hey, quick question. At the top of the hour break, you said that Trump appears to have more MAGA support than we previously suspected. What's your evidence of that?
I don't understand the question. You got to be more specific.
All these MAGA, it seems like all the MAGA influence over the weekend were questioning Trump.
All of them? Really? Who?
Support.
All of them? Can you tell me who? All of them. All MAGA influencers. Okay, that's one.
Okay, all the ones at the Turning Point USA, okay?
No, not all of them. I just played a clip of Roger Stone. He was a turning point, and he backed the president.
Okay.
Laura Loomer was in the front row all weekend. She backed the president. Who?
Oh.
So you named one. Who else?
Laura Ingraham, Charlie Kirk.
That's 2. You said Charlie Kirk.
Carlson.
Tucker's not a MAGA influencer. Some believe he's a foreign agent. So you name and
what were you talking? So for the first hour, what were you talking about? MAGA or Turning Point going against MAGA? What was that?
there were people, well, wait a minute. You said I'm not going to give you you said all the MAGA influencers came out against the president. You named, Laura Ingram's not a MAGA influencer, okay? You named Charlie Kirk. You gave me one name.
She's not MAGA.
She is a Republican who has been a Republican since the Reagan days and was part of the Reagan administration. She's not a MAGA influencer. She's a mainstream media Republican, but she's been active since the Reagan days. You said all the MAGA influencers are against Trump. You gave me one name.
Okay, what were you talking about then? Because you spent the first hour talking about how Turning Point just seemed to go against Trump this weekend. So what were you talking about?
Well,
the first hour you made no sense then?
No. Oh, now you want? So you can't make your.
Smart.
You're not going to turn this around on me.
You didn't make your argument, bro. Come on.
Bro, goodbye. Oh, what a coward. He hangs up on himself. Goodbye. Oh my goodness. He said all the MAGA influencers are against Trump. He gives me one name, Charlie Kirk, and I bet you Charlie Kirk's going to walk all that back. Oh boy. All right. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, man. My name is Mick Quentin, and I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, man.
All right, Memphis, Tennessee. What's on your mind?
All right, man. So, 3 things, man. I wanted to know, ask you, it seems like I wanted clarification. Are you saying that Donald Trump is saying that he's not a part of the Epstein files?
That's correct.
You're saying that he's not a part of the Epstein files?
Correct.
So do you have any proof of or why you think you wavered that way?
Yes.
I want to know.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna lay it out for you. Now listen. The previous administration, the Autopin administration of Joe Biden, they did everything they could do to stop Trump. They arrested him multiple times, got a mugshot, sued him, got fake convictions. They shot him. Okay? And when he survived that, they tried to shoot him again at the golf course. I'm answering your question. Now listen. So they had all the Epstein files and list. If he was on this list and in these files, they would have released that. They were trying everything to stop him from coming back to the White House. Why would they not release the parts of it with him in it when they were doing all these other crazy things to stop him?
So when you say, I was just getting clarification. When you say they, who?
Oh my goodness!
Are they?
If he were on the list or in these files, the corrupt Biden administration would have released it to try to stop him from getting reelected. The fact that they didn't is proof that he's not on it.
Okay, so if we have a corrupt Biden administration, which was a presidential administration, appointee administration, does that mean that our whole government is corrupt?
Not now. It was. See, they were doing the Biden administration and the Never Trumpers. They tried all these things I went through to try to stop Trump from coming back to the White House. If he were in these Epstein files, why would they not release that? After they tried to shoot him, they did shoot him. All the arrests, they did all that. Why would they not release the Epstein stuff with him if he's in the files and on the list?
Yeah, I just, it's so many different issues that
Not many different. Does that when they did everything that they did, it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't release information they had about him in the Epstein files if he was in them, right?
My thing is, okay, so we're talking about the Epstein.
Well, no, you are. That's what you brought up. You said to me, are you telling me that you know for a fact that Trump's not in the Epstein files? I said yes. You said, how do you know that? I told you, and now you want to talk about anything other than that.
No, I'm still on that topic. What I'm saying is that Trump, in my opinion, the reason why I would believe that Trump is in the Epstein files.
Because you hate Trump.
No, not because I hate Trump. It's because all of the cases that has been brought against Trump.
Those are all fake. Those are all fake. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. We're going to take our first break of the second hour of the program. And I want to talk to you about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. You know, his laser away pain treatment works on every type of pain I've ever heard. And you know what the laser treatment does? It repairs the damage that's causing you the pain. Arthritis, which he rid me of. My arthritis pain in my hand, bursitis, hip pain, knee pain, he rid me of knee pain, lumbar pain, muscular contractions, sciatica, strains and sprains, tinnitus, tennis elbow, neck pain, stenosis, the list goes on, plantar fasciitis, bursitis, all these different pains you can be rid of with Dr. Philip Appleton's laser away pain treatment. It also works with injuries and pains that you have after a car accident. So if you've been in a car accident and you have pains from your car accident, whether you were driving or a passenger, go see Dr. Appleton too. And do what I've done 7 times. Say bye-bye to your pain. Give Dr. Appleton a call. Remember, Dr. Appleton performs all the laser treatments himself, not an assistant. Isn't that amazing? It is. And also, appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome every day, even on Saturdays. Because Dr. Appleton knows when you're in pain, you need help, you need relief, you need it now. Here's his number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is a radio station break we're in right now. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Yeah, anytime I'm live streaming, I'm taking calls. I'll have a podcast this afternoon where I'll be taking live calls. So make sure you're subscribed and click the notification bell, and you'll get the notification when I go live. Got an itch on my back. Hold on. Scratch. All right. Oh, man. Welcome, everyone. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. In fact, exactly 2 minutes. We will be back. See, we're starting to, I saw a lot of people, I didn't say name a bunch of names. Name MAGA influencers. Alex Jones is not a MAGA influencer. Laura Ingram's not a MAGA influencer. Tucker Carlson is not a MAGA influencer. Tucker Carlson always runs for the hills. He was caught on tape trashing Trump after January 6th. Remember that? He's always running for the hills, throwing Trump under the bus. Joe Rogan's not a MAGA influencer. Nope. Well, Liz Wheeler is embarrassed that she was one of those idiots that held the binder up in front of the White House. So, she's got an axe to grind. She's embarrassed by that still. I saw her over the weekend talking. Candace Owens is not a MAGA influencer. She used to be. She's anti-Trump. Okay, 30 seconds. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. And next month begins the 49th year. Isn't that something pretty cool? All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, please do. Our number, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. See, some of these callers you're starting to hear? Some of these liberals are getting frustrated that they haven't turned MAGA against the president. I was talking to a caller in the first hour about this. Most everything they've done against Trump, they were trying to turn us against him. The first time they arrested him with Bragg, right? They thought, this is why DeSantis betrayed Trump and ran against him. Because he thought like they did. Oh, if we arrest Trump, these MAGA people, they're about law and order. They're, Blue Lives Matter and all that. Once he's arrested, they'll turn against him. Run, Ron DeSantis, run. So he surrendered himself. We didn't turn against him. He surrendered himself in the, but that was Bragg. We'll get him in this federal thing with the documents. They did the same thing in the federal case. No mugshot. Okay, these MAGA people, they're still supporting him. But if we get a mugshot, then it'll be real to them. Oh, yeah, Bragg arrested him. He got arrested in the federal court over the BS document case. But the reason that they didn't turn against him, these MAGA people, it's not real to them. We need a mugshot. So they get this lowlife who wears her dresses backwards on television. That's true. Look it up. Fani Willis. Not only does she bring this fake, she's involved in a RICO thing against him. She brings these RICO charges. She gets the mugshot. Oh, yeah, she gets the mugshot. And that didn't work either. So they're always, basically, put it in simple terms, Donald Trump is the roadrunner, and those opposed to him are Wile E. Coyote. They've always got this scheme. All right, if we just get this, then they'll turn against him. If we do this, they'll just turn against him. They're always trying to get us to turn against him. And they thought with this file and list business over the last week, that would work. Charlie Kirk screwed up over the weekend, okay? Went out on stage, got those kids. Now keep in mind, got those kids at Turning Point up rallying behind Trump, and then all these other people that were listening backstage went up and wanted to have a redo and did it. He screwed up, Charlie Kirk. He owes Trump an apology. In fact, I hope he does it publicly. You know, I like Charlie Kirk. I still like Charlie Kirk, but he screwed up. That's okay. We all make mistakes. Everybody has those days, right? Remember that? Hannah Montana. And not only does he need to apologize to the president, he needs to do it publicly on his program that he screwed up over the weekend. And you can hear from the phones today, you're hearing liberals who are very upset that we're not upset at the president. I'm going to play this more on the program. The biggest story of all hasn't gotten coverage over the weekend. That's John Solomon. John Solomon, very credible reporter at Turning Point. This was Friday night on Real America's Voice, who revealed something huge that Pam Bondi's working on. Okay, so, and then I'll get to the phone call that the president talked about having with Bongino. But this is huge, because what we're getting from John Solomon, who is very credible when it comes to these things, and his reporting very accurate, has a history of accurate reporting, says that they have one big case going back 10 years, of lawfare against Trump. One big, beautiful case. So the president's on the tarmac yesterday, and they ask him if Dan Bongino still works for him as the deputy director of the FBI. Okay, there you have it. So he has fixed everything with Bongino. Bongino did not quit, even though he didn't go to work Thursday or Friday. He's still with Trump, and they had a conversation. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Chris Stanley from Beaver Creek, Ohio.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, we only need first names. We don't need full names, but that's okay. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay.
Chris from Ohio. What's on your mind, Chris?
You know, I'm 72 years old, and I've gone through a lot of these elections and stuff like this. Yeah, these influencers, you know, when I heard it, it was a little shocking, but then I thought, you know, they've got to do something to keep them relevant. And I can see why they may have got upset, because everybody has a right to not agree with everything the president does.
Well, it's America.
So yes, and that's what makes it great. But I'll tell you, a lot of the people, especially a lot of the Republican Party, I don't know what it is with them. The Democrats, they will stick together for whatever it is, whether it's good or bad, but the Republicans can't.
Well, when we
And
talk about the people at Turning Point, here's what happened, okay? Someone, I don't know who did it first, it may have been Charlie Kirk, went out on stage. There's 1,000 kids in the audience. They brought up this Epstein thing and the crowd went nuts. The other ones are backstage. They saw what happened. They heard what happened. And they're like, well, what do I got that's going to get the crowd riled up? Nothing to follow that. So they all came out one after the other and did a repeat to give the mob in the Coliseum cheering for them. That's what happened. It's obvious. Pathetic.
Yeah. And I wish the people of the United States, we voted for a person to do what we asked for him to do, and just let him do his job. All we have to do is let him do his job, and then the outcome, nothing ever happens in a split second. It is anything else. It's like a bodybuilder. Over a number of years, that's where you see the results.
Yeah.
So the thing of it is with our president, we have to wait. We have to be patient. And then if something doesn't happen, then we get, then we can do something. But let the man be himself. He hasn't been successful with us. He's been successful with him.
You know what these people remind me of? You know what they remind me of? When that Access Hollywood tape came out, and I remember it was around the same time, it was in the first campaign, around the time of the Iowa State Fair, when Trump was flying the kids up and down in the helicopter. And I remember Paul Ryan and even Pence, all of a sudden they started trashing Trump. Paul Ryan disinvited Trump to some event and all this stuff. And I'm looking at these so-called MAGA people that are trashing Trump. He has 3 times now said, leave Pam Bondi alone, stop talking about this. Okay? He's got a reason, and he's not covering up for sex crimes. I think we can agree. If you're MAGA, you don't think President Trump would do such a thing. If you do, you're not. Why would you be supporting him, right?
That's true. And if it was, you would think, as smart as the Democrats really are, they would have brought this out and had him indicted, had him in prison a long time ago.
That's right. Exactly. Hey, listen, appreciate the call from Ohio. I got to run for our break, but great call and welcome.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take care. Those of you on hold, hang in there. I want to tell you guys, I'm going to be with Attorney Barry Siegel at his office, 10 a.m. Saturday. And remember, last week I was telling you guys, you got to call and reserve your spot. Attorney Barry Siegel called me after the show on Friday. He said, Brian, we got no more room. It's standing room only. So everyone who's showing up on Saturday, I look forward to meeting you all there, okay? But it's all filled up. Isn't that something? So didn't I tell you it was limited space? And to fill it up 8 days before the event, I've never done that before. That's amazing. So I appreciate the support out there in the audience for that. I want to talk about the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, which is 30% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. A good night's sleep, of deep, solid sleep, is so important. I know that myself. And that 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, a 10-year warranty, and is 30% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, turns your entire mattress into a big MyPillow. If you think you need a new mattress, get that 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It comes in every mattress size there is. I have them in all the beds in my house. Get them for your kids, too. Also, get them for your kids and grandkids that are going to head off to college. They make great gifts. I've had mine for years. It looks like the day we bought it. By the way, it's machine washable and dryable. It connects on the bed easily. There's just a strap on each corner, and it doesn't move. It never slips or anything. It fits perfectly in place. 30% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It has 3 layers, right? The first layer is the MyPillow patented foam. That's what gives you the support. The second is a transitional foam layer. That's for comfort and pressure relief, which is amazing. And then the cover is a temperature regulating cover that keeps you cool all night, kind of like that MyPillow 2.0. It's amazing. Order yours 30% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. I've been sleeping on mine every night for years. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. We'll be right back. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. If you support Trump, press 1 in the chat. If you support Trump, press 1. No, there's no other choices, just one. There's no other choices. Yep, exactly. That's what I mean by the MAGA support is much stronger than's been reported. Mm-hmm. Look at that. Yeah, exactly. Look at that. All those ones. See, they're telling us that MAGA's abandoned Trump. Look at all that support in the chat. Look at all those ones of support. It's amazing. Yeah. Fake news. Where am I? Okay. We'll be back in about 90 seconds. You know, I'll take some more calls. I'm going to read through Loomer's tweet on the air, too. Charlie Kirk really screwed up over the weekend, but I'll give Charlie Kirk a pass if he apologized. He should apologize very publicly because he got this snowball effect thing going with this crap at Turning Point over the weekend. So, it's his first big screw up. Did any of you catch me on Newsmax over the weekend? A little more than a minute. Callers on hold, stand by. Less than a minute. Less than a minute. We'll be back. Thirty seconds. Welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm going to go back to the phones. We're talking about everything that happened over the weekend from Dan Bongino threatening to quit until now. And now we're taking your calls, kind of processing it all together. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Good morning. Tommy from Boynton Beach, Florida, by way of New York here.
All right, Tommy. What's up?
Hey, man. So, big fan, big Trump supporter over the years. That's my baseline perspective here. But I got to tell you, man, this one here with the Epstein stuff, it's got me a little troubled. I actually called in last week, couldn't get through.
Okay, slow down. Okay, now slow down. I want to let's talk. No, I want to talk to you. You're troubled about you're troubled by Trump?
Troubled by the way his perspective on this. It started with the news conference that he had last
Well,
week.
what do you think his perspective is that you're troubled by?
His perspective, he doesn't seem to have the urgency in releasing what may or may not be there. I don't believe he's on the list. That's not my concern. But I do believe I don't know, there's something bigger going on that's either forcing him to roll this thing out this way. I just don't believe over all these years that there's not something there. And it's an issue.
Okay, slow down. Now, I did play a clip of Roger Stone at Turning Point. Roger Stone said that the Biden regime did some destruction of the information. But are you concerned that Trump's covering something up?
Yeah, not even from his perspective. Maybe it's a two-way thing where there's high profile right people on it, high profile.
Okay, what would he be? Okay, so what would he be covering up? What do you think he might be covering? This is insane. What do you think he might be covering up?
Yeah, I don't know if he's covering it up. I just think it's easier to make it go away than to release what they have. And so far as the Roger Stone thing, I did hear you mention that this morning. And that's an interesting perspective. Why not just come out and say that? Why didn't Bondi come out and say that, or Trump come out and say, "Hey, look, we tried."
Well, I don't know, but I know this. Trump is always proven right in everything. He has a good reason for what he's doing. But what you're saying is that he's covering up for people that are sex trafficking. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so you believe? Okay, so this isn't. Now, slow down.
The sound of freedom and some of that stuff. I think it's a pervasive issue, not only in our country, but
wait a minute. You believe that you just said it. You believe that President Trump is covering up sex trafficking?
I think there's more information here than he is.
No. You're dancing. Do you believe he's covering up sex trafficking? Yes or no?
Covering up is an improper descriptor of it.
If he's not, he's what? Then what do you think he's doing then?
I think he's trying to tamper down what's available to try to move past this.
Move past what?
That's what I think.
The sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking, child trafficking, yeah.
Why, okay, now I talked about this earlier in the show. I'm sure you heard me say it if you were listening, obviously. President Trump has shut down more sex and child trafficking than any person who's ever lived. So, but now you're saying that he's covering up trafficking of children and sex trafficking? I mean, that you think that's the kind of person, hold on. You think that's the kind of man Donald Trump is? That he would cover up child trafficking?
I don't. Listen. I've worked for the guy. I love the guy. I voted for him a bunch. This one didn't sit right with me.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe he should run things by you. Then you know that Donald Trump would not cover up sex trafficking or child trafficking.
Man, I would like to think.
You would like to think that?
I really would. But this one.
I understand. What you're saying is, what you're saying is, hold on. What you're saying is, you think he's covering up for people that are like those creeps in Taken, or the Sound of Freedom bad guys. I mean, think about what you're saying. You're talking about Donald John Trump. How could you think that way of him?
I actually do. My personal belief is that the child trafficking, child porn stuff runs deep into not only high-profile politics around the world. It runs through Hollywood. It runs through extreme.
So he's covering up for He's covering up for the creepy people in Hollywood too. I mean, think about what you're saying. We're not talking about Joe Biden and Hunter here, okay? We're talking about Donald Trump.
Why? Hold on a second. I see your perspective. You're trying to take me down the road that he's covering up.
Well, that's what you said.
Whether it's not releasing all the information that they have, I think that there's bigger wheels in play here. That there's a middle of the road.
I can tell you, there is no way that President Trump is turning a blind eye to sex or child trafficking. No way.
I hope more comes out on it, man, because I think it's too big of an issue around the world for all of a sudden. For all of a sudden, this guy, not Trump, Epstein, over all the years, over all the people, over all the files, over all the reports. I just don't believe that there's no there. I just don't.
Well, wait a minute. There's different things. You know, Epstein's been out of circulation trafficking for years before he died.
True.
So it's possible that there's some files of things that happened long ago that aren't ongoing. But what you're suggesting is hold on. What you're suggesting is there's ongoing trafficking that he's covering up. That's what you said. There's no way.
Well, you know, whether I think there's trafficking going on all over.
Obviously, there's trafficking going on, but no. There's all kinds of things that's going on. Okay, that right now as we speak. But you're saying that Trump is covering up for ongoing trafficking. That's absurd.
Yeah, I don't know about ongoing trafficking. I think there's more there.
There's more there. All right, I appreciate the call. We're going around and around and around, and where we stop is always the same place with that guy. He doesn't know anything. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Randy from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, I got something to throw at you, and I'd really like to know what you think of it. I found that John Solomon interview very interesting, and I'm thinking, remember back in 2016 when Trump said we have it all?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think it was in like 2018 or 19, the lady broadcast or the lady news anchor said she had it all, but they wouldn't let her release it.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, this is my idea, and this is what I think is going on. What do you think? As far as what John Solomon said, that they're going to bring in a special counsel.
He didn't say special counsel. He didn't say special counsel. He said the Justice Department is preparing a big criminal case that involves all of the lawfare against Trump going back 10 years. He didn't say anything about a special counsel. He said that, and that, by the way, the Justice Department, that's Pam Bondi, that they have put together a case against all the lawfare people going back 10 years, one big case. He didn't say anything about a special counsel.
Yeah, I didn't say that he did, but this is my thinking is the special counsel has certain privileges.
Trump's not going to dance around with 3 or 4 years of crap from that. What they're talking about is Pam Bondi's coming out with big indictments, a big reveal with indictments. You don't need a special counsel. We've already got an attorney general and United States attorneys. That's what he's talking about. People like Alina Habba and Judge Janine. We don't need any special counsel is a political thing, just to drag things out and torture people.
Yeah, with that. That was just my thinking, and I know that the Attorney General really has power over the special counsel. But one of the guidelines under appointing a special counsel.
No, I'm not here to talk about special counsels today. I don't want the open phones is Friday. If you're on hold, stand by. Saturday, this is going to be my first appearance post weight loss. The last time you saw me, my face was round in person, and I look forward to seeing you guys all Saturday at Attorney Barry Siegel's office with my Coastal Weight Loss Secret Weight Loss. I'm very excited about this, and because I want people to take more pictures with me to replace the ones you guys took with me at Wings Plus on Inauguration Day. You know, Coastal Weight Loss Secret, not only does their system work, okay, it was so effortless to lose all this weight. I ate foods I would normally eat. I didn't ever feel hungry. You know, if you guys remember, before I lost weight, towards the end of the show, sometimes my stomach would growl, and I would say, hey, did the mic pick that up? And I would tell you guys, how often did you hear me say, oh, I'm starving, I can't wait to get off the air and eat? You haven't heard me say that since I started Coastal Weight Loss Secret, have you? Lost all this weight, no hunger, eating foods I would normally eat, no exercise, and no prescription medications like Ozempic. Give them a call. And remember, you know, my results are typical. A lot of people lose 20, 30 pounds in the first month. I lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks. Blew me away. You know, by the way, I've kept the weight off. And that's been easy too. Give them a call. And remember, no matter where you're located in the United States, they can help you. Here's the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. Call us on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. Hey, it's Brian. Hey, it's going to have to be like in 10 minutes. I won't be able to call you back. Can I put you on hold? Okay, I'll put you on hold. Then I'll get back to you. Okay, hold on. Okay, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. If you're on hold, hang in there. William, thank you. $30, guys. Welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back to our phones. We're covering all of the weekend events involving Bongino and Trump and Bondi, and there's been a lot, no doubt. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once.
Oh,
yeah.
My name's Noel from Texas.
All right, Noel. What's on your mind?
All right. You said most of the things I've been covering over the weekend, right? Because I had a topic that me and my buddy, we were discussing during our night shift. And
well, is it related to what I've been discussing?
No, it's more so just if it's
No, it's not open phones. No, if it's not involved what I'm discussing, I'm not interested.
All right. Just the.
No. Then he wants to just ask. Not gonna happen. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Randall, Central Florida.
Randall in Central Florida. What's on your mind, Randall?
Hey, Brian, don't we think that if they actually release these names, that it would endanger law enforcement raids and arrests?
I don't know. No, I don't know. No, I don't even.
The children.
Yeah.
The children. More importantly, the victims, the children.
Well, so I don't know what you mean about risking law enforcement. I don't know what that means or how.
No, if you release the list.
What Roger Stone said now Roger Stone's a voice of credibility. He went to jail for Trump. They bankrupted him. Remember, he was raided by the Biden administration and CNN. They broke into his house at like 6 in the morning, took him off to jail. They bankrupted Roger Stone, put him on trial. You know, so Roger Stone is a voice of credibility in our movement, right? He stood by Richard Nixon during the darkest times, and he's always stood by Trump, and even was willing to give up his freedom standing up for what was right. Okay.
Let
So
me make
Roger Stone, excuse me. So Roger Stone said yesterday in Tampa, Florida, at the Turning Point USA event, when Kash Patel says, or Pam Bondi say, that there is no list and no records, they're telling the truth because the Biden administration destroyed them.
Yeah. Okay. So if that is actually true, which it probably is, I don't disagree with it. Okay. Let's look at, for example, Grady Judd. Look at all the arrests that have already been made, all the raids. Do you think that Sheriff Grady Judd of Polk County, Florida, would go out there and release the names of the perps?
Yeah, he's the guy that arrests that do all the prostitution stings. Yeah, they put their pictures on TV. He has press conferences about it.
Right, after the fact, though. After the fact.
Yes.
After they've already been arrested.
Okay.
And the victims aren't in danger, nor is law enforcement, because, you release the names, so they're ready for you.
Okay,
right?
I see what you're saying.
They
yes.
set up two operations. They set up. Remember that guy set that fire on that mountain?
No, we're not. You're getting all over the way. I'm trying to focus in here on particular things. Not, open phones is Friday, guys, and today is Monday. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. I'll take another couple of calls here before we bring up some new stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, North Carolina, speak up.
Oh, I was just trying to give you a chance to absolutely pray with me, brother. Do you know the Lord's Prayer?
I do know the Lord's Prayer, and I say it often, but what are we supposed to be praying for here? Why are you calling me to pray? What?
Well, because we need prayer in this moment.
We need prayer in every moment. No, I'm not gonna pray on the air with you. And no, I say the Lord's Prayer all the time, pretty much every day.
Yeah.
But what do you think? What do you think we need? What specifically do you think we need prayers for?
Dude, you don't want to pray, but you're a Christian. You fake, dude.
Yeah, exactly. What is it you want us to pray for specifically?
Like you do everybody else.
Mr. Christian, you're throwing a lot of judgment my way. For you to be some holier than thou Christian, you're calling me a fake Christian. Who are you to judge who's a Christian or not?
Why would you not want to pray? Why would you not want to pray?
Well, you've got other agendas, which are obvious by your tone.
No, I don't have.
You're not interested in praying. No, you do. Who are you to tell? Who are you to say who's a true Christian or not? Who are you to make such a judgment?
Pray on the air.
No, it's not that I don't want to pray on the air. You've got an agenda. You've got an agenda.
You have a Messiah.
See?
You pray to Trump.
See, that's why I didn't pray with you. You're not a true Christian. You're not a true Christian. No. You're not asking me to pray. You're not asking me to pray. Excuse me, I misspoke. You're not asking me to pray. You're not asking me. You're not. I have not heard you pray not one time on your show. I did say the Lord's Prayer on the air the day after the George Floyd incident. But you want me. Wait, I knew.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Oh, you did.
I did. Go find it. It's on YouTube. Yeah, I was holding up my Bible. I was holding my Bible. But see, I knew you didn't call me as a Christian to pray. You called me as some liberal who's trying to make a point, and then you just said that my Messiah... I know. You said Trump's my Messiah. You said Trump's my Messiah. That's why I didn't pray with you.
If you cannot honestly look at yourself in the mirror and realize that no matter what's being said, this whole situation with the Epstein file would not have been brought up if Elon Musk had not.
Oh, so now you're pointing fingers. You said Trump is my Messiah. You're pointing fingers, and you're not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. Yes.
You're gonna hang up either way it
well,
goes.
yeah, I've got a show to run here. I've got a show to run. What am I supposed to do? Give it over to this lunatic? I knew exactly where he was going when he asked me to pray. Believe me. That's why I didn't do it with him. All right, now the countdown has begun. We're going to check in with Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Our 10th anniversary MAGA cruise is right around the corner. I'm all excited. Ian, good morning. Oh, man, I'm doing great. Now, this is an amazing thing. This is our 10th anniversary MAGA cruise. This is the original MAGA cruise. This is our 10th anniversary. We leave in March on the luxurious Celebrity Beyond. We're going to Nassau, Antigua, which I've never been to, and the Virgin Islands, right?
British Virgin Islands, Tortola.
Yeah. So, talk to people a little bit about this because, this is our 10th anniversary cruise. 9 of them have been with Celebrity. You were able to lock down some incredible deals for people on this cruise.
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking about pricing that we haven't seen in a really long time for nice infinite veranda stateroom, drinks and Wi-Fi are included.
Yeah, drinks and Wi-Fi are included. Isn't that something? And for those of you that have been on our past cruises, Ian and I are working on some special things that we've never done before. It's going to make this like because it's our 10th anniversary cruise, this was going to be extra special. So we're planning some things we've never done before in ways we've never done before. It's going to be pretty exciting. Now another thing too is you and I were talking about this the other day. Some of our best friends, both of us, are people that are listeners that have come on these cruises. And we went to a party on the 4th of July that we were both invited to. One of our cruisers, Murphy, put on, and a whole bunch of our cruise people was there. We had everything but the ship at our 4th of July party. It was like being on the cruise.
Yeah, that was a really nice day. I was really pleased to see everybody, and we really have turned into quite a family after spending so much time on vacation together.
Absolutely.
Dining together, drinking together,
Yeah.
cocktail parties. It's such a great group with a lot of camaraderie. You don't find that every day.
No, and you will make lifelong friends too when you go on our MAGA cruise with Steve Kane and myself and Ian, our travel agent from Cruise and Travel Depot, who's organized all these cruises. And our cruise family gets bigger each and every year. We have MAGA people travel from all over America. This one's very exciting. And we got these. We're almost out of time for the hour, so I'm going to give them your number, Ian. And I want to tell people this, okay? If you get the voicemail, leave a message with your phone number. Ian will call you back, okay? Make sure you leave your phone number on the voicemail. He will call you back. This is going to be such an exciting cruise. We've got great shore excursions, which we'll talk about later in the week, because we have a really ultimate shore excursion that's so luxurious, so fun, and completely privatized to our event. So join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, and our great MAGA family for our 10th anniversary MAGA cruise. Give Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot a call, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. All right, Ian, we'll talk later this week, and we'll go over the shore excursion that we have planned.
Sounds great, man. All the best.
All right, take care. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to it. And in fact, I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights with my daughter, and a couple of our cruisers are coming, meeting me up there with my family. So we do make friends. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. Back after this. See, I knew that guy. As soon as he said pray, I knew he what he was trying to do was walk me down some garden path where he was going to start with the Lord's, and you saw, vicious liberal, right? He was going to start with the Lord's Prayer and then morph into praying to save us from Trump, right? I mean, jeez. Sickos. After talking to people for over 30 years, believe me, I know what a lot of them are going to say before they even know what they're going to say. Oh, boy. If you're on hold, hang in there. I didn't dodge anything. Believe me, I'm very well aware of what these callers are going to do. These liberals. All right, stand by. Oh yeah, if you have not been on one of our cruises, you don't know what you're missing. All right, this one, some of the things we're planning are just amazing. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Oh, it's a great week. 7 days at sea. Everything's private. We have dinner together every night privately. We have onboard activities, shore excursions together. We hang out all day, all night. We just have a great, great time. Private cocktail parties, private events. This is just going to be such a great time, especially because it's the 10th anniversary cruise. I'm very excited about it. No, you're all invited. No liberal stowaways allowed, though. Nope. Yeah, you can still sign up. We leave in March. Yeah, I'll give you Ian's number at Cruise and Travel Depot. Give him a call. Make sure, if you get a voicemail, make sure you leave your name and number, okay? Because he might be on the line with someone else. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. And he'll give you the price quote right over the price varies so much based on what specials are going on, what type of cabin you choose, and all that. He'll give you the price right away. But we blocked this space on the ship so long ago. You're going to be paying less than anybody else on board if you're in our group. Our group will be paying less than all the other people on board. All right, hour number 3 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We've covered so much. I've been talking about all the weekend events, from Dan Bongino threatening to resign if Pam Bondi's not fired on Friday to where we are today. I'll take another couple of calls, and then we'll get back into some of this stuff, all right? Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Texas.
Speak up, Texas. You got to speak up.
Oh, I'm back. I didn't even know I have a phone on speakerphone.
That's okay. I can hear you. What's on your mind, Texas? What's on your mind?
Nothing much. I actually been listening. It was like, good gracious, man. You got some things going on here today, man.
That's for sure.
You really, really do. But as far as it comes to Trump, man, I just have to understand, got pictures of him. Old buddy said he was his best friend. And it's like...
people take pictures with, I'm doing I'll be this weekend. I have an appearance Saturday morning with Attorney Barry Siegel. Okay.
I'm in Texas. I ain't in Florida.
There's airplanes. There's airplanes. But, I take pictures...
It's sold out already.
Hold on a second. Oh yeah, the Barry Siegel event is full. But I take pictures with listeners all the time. I don't do background checks. When
no, it's a video of him with.
I'm in videos with people. I'm in videos with people. I don't. When I do appearances. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second. Who said he was his best friend?
Yeah, Epstein said he...
so Epstein's word... okay, so Epstein's word is good to you? No, slow down. So, hold on. No. Trump never said Epstein was his friend or best friend.
No, Trump said that he liked the girls and he liked...
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. Epstein may have said they're friends. Hold on. No, Trump did not say they...
No, know, Trump said they
All right,
they
I'm sorry. You gotta be polite. Let me see some Texas manners here, okay? I love how all of a sudden these people want to tell you that Jeffrey Epstein's credible. Oh, he said they were friends. Oh, okay. You're taking his word? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, good morning. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
Yeah, interesting, very interesting weekend. Last week there was a lot of discussion about, so many things. The compass was spinning round and round. Steve brought this up a little bit, Epstein, it's so kind of in the rearview mirror type thing, but for many, many reasons. I mean, you've got Trump, basically he's batting 999 home runs out of 1,000. And everybody wants to burn the damn bats. I'm like, everybody calm the hell
Well,
down.
if you've listened to today's show, okay, if you've listened to today's show, we've heard a lot of people pretending to be Trump supporters that aren't, right? That guy that called me before the top of the hour that said, "Would you pray with me?" What he was going to do, listen. I know I tell you this guys a lot because I just don't realize. I can't believe how old I am. But I've been talking to liberal jerks on the phones for over 30 years now. And I knew when he said that, I knew exactly. I know what callers are going to say before they say it. Okay, just like that guy from Texas. What he was.
You've got a good Spidey. You've got a Spidey sense. Bro.
That's right. That's correct. That's correct. What that guy was going to do is start with the Lord's Prayer, and then he was going to pray to survive the Trump administration or something. He was going to go into that. And you think he's going to walk me down some garden path? I knew exactly what he was all about. And that last caller was the same thing, big Trump supporter and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, well, Jeffrey Epstein said they're best friends. Oh, okay, his word's good? I mean, come on.
Sure.
Come on.
There's just so many. I mean, last week, excuse me, last week I was getting a little, depressed. I mean, because I think I told you on Friday or Thursday, I had been reading a lot about what the FBI had been doing, and a lot of it. I mean, there's so you can go to the FBI website, whatever. They got all the press releases there. I mean, they're arresting people all over the place. Trump praised them. I mean, Bongino and Cash are responsible for a lot of the Holman success because they let practically half the FBI helping them. And why not? Because it's a team effort. This is a team effort. It's not, the FBI is helping Holman. Everybody. This is Trump. Trump fixes things. Democrats, they use things. They don't fix them. They use them. Trump sees a problem. Like Trump goes by a dilapidated building. He's like, how can I fix that? A Democrat goes by it, or even a Republican rhino, whatever. They drive by a building and like, how can I use that? They're users. Trump is a fixer. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and all these people that say, well, Tucker's against him on this. Tucker Carlson is a coward. January 6th, he was trashing Trump. Remember that tape that came out? Trump bombs Iran, he's trashing Trump. COVID, Tucker was so upset with Trump, he drove unannounced to Mar-a-Lago asking to speak to the president during COVID. Now Tucker always runs for the hills when Trump's up against it. Always.
There's a lot of very smart people making some pretty serious mistakes, and that's what was driving me crazy. That's like the MAGA elite. Like I said, they want to burn the bats. They want to burn over this, and it's not what they think it is. Like Roger Stone said, and I think John Solomon's Gold, talks about, listen, President Trump, you want to read the stuff that the Biden administration wrote the files. The Biden administration put the list together. Do they really care about truth and justice and honesty?
Yeah.
No. They hid evidence.
Whatever they have is a work of fiction. But I'll say this. I'm going to play. Hold on a second. I'm going to play the John Sullivan clip again after the next break because I think it's the big story and nobody's talking about it. What John Solomon said on Real America's Voice on Friday was that the Justice Department, that's Pam Bondi, has been putting together one big, beautiful lawfare case that goes back 10 years of everything done against Trump. Okay, so
this is what I think. Quite honestly, I thought that was going on the entire time. There's a couple of callers last week that said there's something else going on here because I look at all this stuff as a distraction, and I'm thinking, okay, sealed indictments. They don't want to release anybody's name because, look, we just nabbed a guy from China who traveled to Milan, and that sealed indictment was from like 2022. If we start putting out names, it might give people a heads up. Now, I'm not saying they're investigating. I think that they went to the evidence locker. And it was either barren, there was nothing in there but dust, or there was a bunch of fake evidence put in there to screw them up, so that when they do, look, they go out and start questioning people. I mean, I think they just laid a trap. The FBI, the CIA under Biden administration, now they've removed those.
Well, what people are speculating on that are credible people, that the Biden regime put together a bunch of fake fiction in these files to try. Democrats are lowlives. Remember when the Clintons left the White House, how they glued all the they glued all the W's and the computer keypads in the West Wing and all that stuff. Remember all that stuff? Democrats, when they leave office, they get nasty and they do all kinds of crazy things.
I mean, the Democrats were very, very close with Catherine Rumbler, Obama's attorney. She supposedly met with him allegedly like 36 times. With Epstein. Well,
I'm excited. I'm excited about this big, beautiful lawfare case that goes back a decade. And that would explain why he's so strong against Bondi. Pam Bondi's, if it's Justice Department's her, that's what she's been working on. Hey, listen, I got to run, but I appreciate the call. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben, what's up?
Hey, I've been listening this whole morning. A lot of people. A lot of panicking, a lot of people turning against Trump after the amazing month that we've had. First things first, everyone just wants to forget what Trump has done just in the last month alone. We've had a budget surplus for the first time in 20 years, record stock market. We've had 0 illegal border crossings. We had a peace deal with the Congo, peace deal with Pakistan and India. He's done so much in a short period of time, and all of a sudden, people are questioning him, coming out against him, saying that if they were in the position, they would somehow do things better. Maybe he knows stuff that you don't, and maybe he's just making the best call like he has this whole time. So people need to calm down. And I would say I'm very excited about this lawfare case you think they're building, but and John Solomon's one of the best investigative reporters we have, next to Miranda Devine and all that. But I'm very, very, very curious what that's going to mean, because I don't want another Durham report or another investigation, or another.
Well, listen, this is, and I do too. The 3 top conservative reporters are Miranda Devine, Laura Loomer, and Solomon. And I've not heard anyone say what he said. That was the first time I heard that from at least a credible person, and it was pretty detailed.
Solomon, I mean, when he says something, I listen. But again, I didn't know if he meant the case or if they're just going to do another investigation.
No. He said they've been building it. He said they've been building the case, and it goes back 10 years. So he didn't say anything about a special counsel, nothing, like that idiot Durham. Now, listen, I got to run for the break, but appreciate the call, Ben. All right, Ben from Pompano. Call is on hold. You stand by. The doorbell camera offer is still in effect. With the installation of your Sloman Shield, you can get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone. You get a notification every time there's movement at your door. And let me tell you, these door-to-door salesmen, there was a guy, he thought he was going to trick me. I get a notification that there's movement in the front of my house. I look at my phone, and it's a door-to-door salesman, and he's on one of those, what do you call those electric things that have the one wheel on them? I've got one that has 2 wheels on it. You know what I'm talking about? He's right in front of my house, coming up at my driveway, and I'm like, I'm not answering the door to this guy. I love it, and you can get one for free. It makes a great gift for mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, or even your adult kids, and you can get a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. Call us on hold. Stand by. We'll be right back. All right. We'll be back shortly, guys. Okay, less than a minute. We'll be back. I'll go back to the phones when we get back. If you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free, and it is pinned in the chat. We're back in 30 seconds. Okay, we are back. This show is flying by, especially for a Monday. Holy smokes. I'm going to go right back to the phones. We're covering everything of the news events involving the files, the list, Trump, Pam Bondi, just humongous developments that we've been covering. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, we are back. This is flying by.
Yeah, that's you. You're on.
I'm going to go right back to the phone.
Oh, I got to turn my TV down.
Yeah, turn down your TV. That's right. This one will be good, I know. All this. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Takes a long time. I can. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You didn't turn down the TV. You got to turn down the volume in the back, man. There's a delay. I can still hear. Okay, now you turned it down. Okay, what's your name? Where are you calling from? We're very laid back here. Okay, all right. I'm going to have to give up on him. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Bobo Fox. I live over in Alabama.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Bill. I'm calling from Indiana, and
yes, Bill.
I wanted to ask.
Here we go.
Wait, hello?
Yeah, here we go.
Do you know JD Vance fucks couches?
Oh, there you go. First dump of the day and the first dump of the week. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. We were doing very good with the calls, and then we've had a run of, Well, while we're waiting for the delay to re-engage, I was going to play this coming out of the break. It's an amazing, well, I'm not going to get sidetracked on that. I was going to play this coming out of the break, and I said, some of these people have been holding on for a while. Let me take the calls. I should have just played this and then gone to the calls. But I've been playing this once an hour because I think this is the big story of the weekend that no one has covered, okay? And this was at Turning Point USA. It's John Solomon, who's very credible, one of the more credible journalists we have in America today. He's in certainly the most credible 5. I mean, I put him up there with Miranda Devine and Loomer, John Solomon. And he was being interviewed on Real America's Voice, which is a pretty good news outlet. And this is at Turning Point USA in Tampa. This was Friday night.
Considering resigning alongside of Dan Bongino. It is not true. My reporting makes very clear. Going nowhere unless the president decides to move Cash Patel. He's there for the long haul. Why is that? Because the FBI has a major investigation that looks at the last 10 years of what happened to Donald Trump in one large conspiracy case. Nobody given that opportunity. Now, it is true that Dan Bongino is taking a few days to reconsider whether he wants to stay in the job. That's his decision. He's gone through these things before. There have been times when he's been on radio. He got mad, took a couple days off. I'm guessing he'll come back when it's all done. But Cash Patel is going nowhere. I think next week, over the next 10 days, and the base has been wondering, where's all that accountability? You're going to get some big surprises over the next week concerning where the conspiracy began a few weeks before Crossfire Hurricane was over and when it ended all the way in 2024 when they were still trying to pursue Donald Trump from winning the presidency. There's a big case that's been built by the Justice Department and the FBI. It's been masked by a lot of this infighting and drama and soap opera stuff, but the truth of the matter is MAGA-based Americans are going to be happy when they see where this is all heading in the next few weeks. Cash Patel's going nowhere. I hope Dan Bongino isn't going anywhere, but I do think he's going to take some time over the weekend to think that through.
Okay, so John Solomon says that Pam Bondi has been working on one big, beautiful case against all the lawfare people all at once. Not having, Comey on a case, another case with Letitia, another case with Fannie, another case with Mershon. One big case that goes back a decade, from the dossier through the campaign. That's amazing. That's fantastic. And boy, oh boy, if that's the case, and he seems very confident and he's very credible, that'll be the beginning. That'll be a beautiful thing. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
This Jeff again from Maryland, man. You hung up on me.
I went to you and you weren't there. I tell you, how long am I supposed to sit here while you fumble around with the TV remote? But you're on the air now. What's on your mind? Where are you calling from?
Nothing much, man. It's just
nothing on your mind. Okay.
Crazy situation, like you said.
Yep.
Hello?
It is indeed a crazy.
Like you said, that we're going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that he's absolutely and completely and totally in control of everything. Big, beautiful bill. Absolutely great. This is just a blemish. I guess you could say
a blemish?
A black eye.
Who's got a blemish?
Yeah,
Who's got a black eye?
Well, that's what they're trying to make happen.
Who's got a black eye? Who's got a blemish?
Trump.
How
they're
so?
Trying to make him have a blemish.
But he doesn't.
With the whole Epstein situation, That's
what do you mean the Epstein situation? Wasn't the Epstein situation resolved when he was shut down and he's passed away and everything else?
Well, no, it's not actually how it happened.
Okay. So slow down. No. Slow down. So you think you think Trump's covering something up?
No, that's not what I said at all.
But what are you saying?
No, what I'm saying is what they're trying to do is give him a blemish.
Well, they're always been trying to do that. They tried to shoot him too, right? They're always trying to bring him down.
Well, that is the case.
Actually, they did shoot him. They did shoot him, and then they tried to do it again.
A year ago, yeah, absolutely. And this was the anniversary of that, which is crazy as well. But let me ask you a question. And I want you to answer it seriously.
Here we go. He's building up. Okay, go ahead.
Why don't you pray with me, brother?
No, I'm not going to pray with you. I'm not going to pray with you.
I'm
not going to pray. I know it was you. You think I'm stupid?
No, I do think he's stupid because he voted for Trump, and you following the dummy.
See? See, this is Mr. Christian. You're passing judgment on people.
I'm not passing judgment.
Yeah. You're calling me out. You're saying I'm not a Christian, and you're calling people stupid.
You got to talk to your children, bro, about what you actually are supporting.
What do you think I'm supporting?
Being a crook.
What do you think I'm supporting?
Being a crook. Born and raised in New York. I know everything about him. He's a crook.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely a crook. And you know he's a crook.
No.
But you probably get money from him. That's the reason why
you're a creep.
Absolute travesty to
All right,
the word
appreciate the call.
man.
All right. Oh my goodness. That's the guy that wants me to pray with him? I don't think so. Maybe we'll pray for him. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Boba Fox, and you tried to stop me last time. You're a coward.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Sure. Let's talk about Epstein.
No.
What are you talking about?
No.
I'm scared of him.
No. See, on this program, we talk about the news. And if you drop the S, excuse me. No, excuse me, Boba Fox. Slow down.
Prior to that.
Excuse me. You have to have some manners here, all right? I'm speaking, all right? You there? Okay, you hold. All right. You can't talk while I'm talking. Okay, I guess he can't figure that part out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Brian, a never Trumper.
Oh, you know what? Never Trumper Steve, I'm late for a break. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'll take your call after the break. I would have taken the break first if I'd have looked at the clock, all right? You hang in there. Oh, my goodness. But what I was going to say to Boba Fox was this. We talk about things that are news, which means new. We're not here to rehash the Epstein case, all right? What I've been doing over the weekend is processing the events that took place from Friday until last night. From Dan Bongino threatening to resign from the FBI on Friday to the other things that have happened over the weekend. We're not talking about last Monday's show. We're not talking about 20 years ago. We're talking about the weekend events. That's the news, okay? All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. Let's take the break, and then we'll be back. Oh, boy, oh, boy. All right, we'll be back in just a few seconds. I'm going to go back to the phones. There's one opening on our board if you'd like to call in. The number is pinned in the live chat. Yeah, you guys like my alligator Alcatraz shirt? Pretty cool, huh? You like it at the back? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We're covering everything that's happened since Friday with Dan Bongino threatening a resignation until last night. And a lot has happened in this weekend that, boy, oh boy, exciting stuff. All right. Never Trumper Steve on the line. Thanks for holding through the break. Never Trumper Steve, what's on your mind?
Worth the wait.
Of course.
You know what's funny? When I called in last week, and you actually said to me, can't you say something nice about either Trump or MAGA? I forget which one, but it's one of the same. And right on that call, I said, I'm taking the MAGA point of view. What did I say? Keep the pressure up. That file has to be released. I don't know if there's a list, but if there's a file. And what has happened today on your show? More conspiracy, because when you don't release what's there, there's going to be all this speculation. There's a prime minister involved, one of your callers said. So this is not a Pam Bondi issue. It's a Trump issue. Because we know that MAGA got started because of distrust of government, whether it's the Vietnam War or weapons of destruction in Iraq.
Never Trumper Steve. Never Trumper Steve is a man of a few thousand words. It's so nice of you to be so concerned about the future of MAGA.
Well, the future's a little bit in question based on what happened over the weekend, you'd have to admit.
Really?
Well,
what happened over the weekend?
At that convention, well, you talked about it, booing Trump and all these famous people.
No one booed Trump. No one booed Trump.
They took polls, and all these people.
They took polls on the stage about Pam Bondi, but they weren't booing Trump. Where'd you get that?
Well, my ears were deceiving me then.
Yeah.
There was a lot of booing about the Trump.
They were booing Bondi. Listen. Tucker Carlson was one of them. He's always trashing Trump, okay? He was trashing Trump after January 6th. He was trashing Trump for bombing Iran. So he's, Steve Bannon's been critical of Trump.
Kelly,
hold on. No, hold on. I actually watched it. I could have gone. I had an invite. I didn't go. I'm not a big fan of Tampa. But Steve Bannon's been critical of everything Trump's done because he's an outsider. Okay, Laura Ingraham, she's a Reagan Republican whose loyalties have always been questionable. She's an establishment Republican, and Megyn Kelly's never liked. She doesn't like these powerful women. She's always been against Bondi. Charlie Kirk messed up by starting this racket, but I imagine he'll be rolling that back at some point and be on the phone trying to get the forgiveness of President Trump. That's all. Things got a little. They got a little carried away there at Turning Point.
Everyone does what's in their political or financial interest.
Not everyone. Not President Trump. Well, President Trump's lost money.
Bongino, if he stays in the government, then in 3.5 years, when presumably he may be out, he's got no future in podcasting based on what happened.
Maybe.
Actually, Trump should fire him because he went off the reservation when everyone had agreed what they were going to come out with.
So nice of you, Steve. Rebellion. So nice. Steve wants to do what's best for the Trump administration. Hey, listen, appreciate the call, man. I mean, come on. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian, how are you? Thank you, Brian, for replaying that John Goodman interview because I didn't hear that.
John Solomon.
That is, you talk. I'm sorry, yeah, John Solomon. What a shot in the arm that is. I mean, I had a suspicion last week there's some type of a bigger thing going on, a sting operation or something, but they're going way back on this.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be an all-inclusive investigation. I think when we see this come out, we're going to be very happy. Do you remember when Maria Bartiromo was interviewing Patel and Bongino, and he said, well, give it maybe another 2 weeks. Maybe he's just a little early on that prediction because this sounds like it's going to be a major strike against the other side.
It does, and this would tell us why President Trump keeps saying Pam Bondi's doing such a great job. It's this.
Yeah. Sometimes it's very easy to get upset in that, but you have to just be a little patient, take a step back, because we have confidence in these guys. These are our guys. These
That's
are
right.
the MAGA guys, and we got them in key positions. But what I've been watching the last several days are the numbers rolling out on Trump's second term and the economy that he's created for this country. I have never seen numbers like this anyway. The numbers are phenomenal.
Yeah, and and this thing about Bongino, listen, I've talked about this with Bongino. It was reported that Bongino was making $1 million a month with his podcast and radio show. Now he's making $100-something thousand a year. They've tried to keep things going with this Vince show, but it's tanking. If they should have put me on there. We could have done the live show right from the True Oldies studios. It would have been amazing.
Well,
and
there you go.
And then they would have been. We would have all been making tons of money.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Dan Bongino said on Fox a few weeks ago that him and his wife are divorced. Remember that slipped, and then he said, "No, not divorced."
Yeah, I saw that.
Believe me, their lifestyle was at that financial level, and who knows how many family members they've been supporting. And money is probably getting a little tight over there, and they had this money machine that's pretty much been shut down. And Bongino may have been trying to use this as an out to try to get back to the $1 million a month money machine.
Well,
and Trump talked him off the ledge. Said, "Don't do it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to go back to that. You're going to look like a quitter and a loser." Just like
he did look visibly upset in those interviews. No question about it. They both did. But what's coming out, I think, is going to vindicate that what they've been working on behind the scenes is going to be gigantic.
Yeah.
And I think MAGA, especially, we're going to be very happy. But guys like John Goodman, I mean, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Solomon.
John Solomon. They're worth their weight in gold. His reporting is always spot on, and he's a guy that you can really count on.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, these numbers coming out on the second term of Trump, with these numbers rolling out, they are sensational.
Yeah.
$26 billion as surplus in the first month of June.
Yeah, we're not going to need
no inflation.
And I'm telling you, the next presidential election, one of the big issues may be eliminating the income tax. That may be the issue that the Republicans run on in the next presidential.
That's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And that's what the tariffs will do.
Mm-hmm.
You won't have to file income tax.
Can you imagine?
How is the other side going to? How are they going to fight against that?
Even if they came out with if they came out with a national sales tax of a penny or so, I'd take it to get rid of the income tax. Come on, it sucks.
Yeah.
The only people that don't like the only people that have no problem with taxes are the people that don't pay them.
Yeah, or the accountants doing the taxes for the people who do.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But number sensation, and that is tremendous news. And thanks for replaying that, because that was a real boost.
Oh yeah, it is. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, you know who it is. It's Bobo Fox. I'm gonna wait.
Listen, Boba Fox. You're new to the program. It's one call per day. And I let you through. I let you through already. But since you're new, I'll let you ask your biggest question. I'm not scared. It's just I run a show here. You can call me tomorrow.
You run a show.
You can run me tomorrow. You can call me tomorrow.
Are you going to let me talk?
I'm up against a break, so ask your most pressing question.
Why did you support Trump after him saying that these files aren't here, they never existed, and that we're not going to investigate them?
He didn't say any of that.
The DOJ did. Who do you think?
No, Trump didn't say what you just said that he said.
The DOJ answered.
In fact, President Trump put out a very long Truth Social post that I was talking earlier. It was like the longest one I've ever seen. And he said whatever, excuse me, I'm responding to your question. President Trump said that whatever files there are were written by the Biden and Obama administration. They're fiction. Files of fiction.
Can I respond to that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Epstein was brought up in Trump's administration, the original administration, in 2016 and 2017?
I don't know what that means, brought up. What do you mean, brought up?
That means he was tried and found guilty during...
He died in 2019 during Trump's first term, yes.
You're right.
Okay. Hey, listen, I'm going to run, but you can call me another day. But it's time for a commercial. It's time for I'm here every day. All right, take care. Oh my goodness. I'll be here all week. Now, I've got to tell you guys about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I'm so excited. I got my first personal appearance post-weight loss at Attorney Barry Siegel's Saturday morning at 10, which, by the way, is filled. Barry Siegel called me on Friday after the show and said, Brian, we don't have room for any more people. You know, I may not even have a chair. I'm going to give my chair up, okay, and I will be standing. But we'll see you Saturday, and this is your first time to see me in person post-weight loss, thanks to Coastal Weight Loss Secret. I'm very excited. And, you know, a lot of people ask me about the Coastal Weight Loss Secret. It was so effortless. No exercise, right? Eating foods I would normally eat, no prescription medications like Ozempic, and I was never hungry, and I've lost over 35 pounds. I'm in the maintaining phase now. And because I didn't have to exercise or eat yucky foods, and I didn't have to starve myself or any of that, I've not gained any of the weight back. And it's because the Coastal Weight Loss Secret, since you're eating foods you would normally eat and you're not starving yourself. And if I had to have an exercise routine, I'd be destined to fail. Because it didn't really change my lifestyle at all. The maintaining is easy. Give them a call. Remember, it's a no-charge consultation. No matter where you're located in the United States, Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help. And when you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlosssecret.com. We'll be right back. Hey, hold on. Okay. This is the last break of the day. We'll be back in 1 minute. If you're on hold, hang in there. Every line is lit. Boba Fox, you're welcome to call me once a day, but I won't take your calls anymore, which I can do if I choose. I don't want to do, you're new, you got a lot of excitement, but it's just once a day, man. Okay? I welcome people to call me to disagree with me, but, you know, if you keep calling, I won't take your calls in the future. Right? But you're new, so I'm being a little laid back with you. I do, but I've got break schedules and everything else. I've only got a couple rules. Once a day, no profanity. And you got to be on topic of what I'm talking about, except on Fridays, which is open phones. All right, here we go. Stand by. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with our first look at gold and the other precious metals for the week. William Youngerman, how are the metals starting off?
The metals are starting off great after a major move and breakouts for some of the metals on Friday, except for gold. We saw all the metal markets up strong on Friday, with gold trading in a range of $3,319 all the way up to $3,369. Closing out the day up $32.20 on Friday at $3,354.90 the ounce. Silver, the big mover, up $1.38 on Friday, closing out the week at $38.32 the ounce. While platinum gained $45 at $1,399, and palladium was up $73 at $1,216 the ounce. Overnight, we've seen gold trading in a range of $3,350 to $3,375. Gold seeming to be trying to break out of its doldrums for the last several weeks of trading in the range of $3,300 to $3,350. Right now, we're at $3,351. That's down $3.90 from Friday. Platinum or silver up another 50 cents from Friday's big $1.38 move at $38.82. We have seen silver over $39 so far this morning. Platinum up or down $19 right now at $1,380, and palladium down $4 at $1,212 the ounce. So the markets are doing very well. All the metals trying to break out of some of these trading ranges, and it looks like we're moving higher.
Wow, silver is amazing. I mean, everything's amazing, but silver is approaching $40 an ounce.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
Oh my goodness! You know, when people are buying silver these days, what's the most popular silver people want to pick up right now?
We seem to be selling a lot of 10-ounce silver bars. It's a nice little brick of silver, not very heavy, but it's substantial feeling, and they stack nice, and they like those 10-ounce bars, and of course a lot of 1-ounce coins and 1-ounce rounds are very popular also.
You know, the 10-ounce bars, what you said is exactly right. Out of all the silver, that's kind of my favorite because, you know, it's easy to keep track of what you got, right? You know, because each one's 10 ounce. And a lot of people that are silver collectors, they call themselves stackers. And the reason I think they call themselves stackers is because the 10-ounce silver bars stack so perfectly. And it's a good thing. All right, well, listen, give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m., 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010, or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can find both his phone number and address on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care. All right, there's one opening on the board where William Youngerman was at. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Our Father, who art in heaven.
All right. I mean, you know, they're losing their minds. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Detroit Dave, and we all know Trump is all over the Epstein files. He is such a felon.
Okay, well, that's okay. Well, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Good morning, Brian. It's Greg.
Oh, hey, Greg. What's up?
Greg.
What's up, Greg?
Listen, shame on you, okay? Shame on you.
Oh, what did I do this time?
Was it just last week you were trashing Pam Bondi? Trashing her?
Mm-hmm.
Calling for her resignation? Questioning her abilities? Is that an accurate depiction?
Well, since then, there have been developments.
No, but were you doing that?
I was wrong.
No, thank you. Finally, you admit to being wrong. Guess what? You're wrong on so many levels on different things. But guess what?
Well, you know, when you're on the air like me, I'm on the air like 6 hours a day, right? With all the different stuff I do. So when you're on the air talking about the news and everything, news develops, right? So we're talking about breaking news stories as they happen, and there's developments, and sometimes you may be wrong and say, hey, I was wrong. We got some new information. This is,
you know why shame on you as well? You know why shame on you as well? You're a sexist. You brought up her looks being part of how she got to her career level.
Well, that helps.
Shame on you. That's not wrong. That's
I mean, she's 60 years old. Look how good she looks. You don't think looking good helps?
You think she got, you know what?
It helps. Absolutely, it helps. Yeah. Sure, it helps. Sure.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Have you dated models in the past?
I'm not going to talk about my personal life.
Well, because you know what? Then if looks are everything, you're attributing her success is to her looks. No,
people, listen. When you're a good looking.
Talk about yourself. Don't talk about people. Talk about yourself.
I'll talk about what I want to talk about. There's no doubt that when you're 60 years old and you look as hot as Pam Bondi, that your looks help. Sure, and I tell people she's much better looking in person than on television. Yeah, of course that helps. It helps her in court with juries.
Did it help her? Did it help her to get the attorney general position?
Maybe. Yeah, sure.
So you're saying Trump hired someone based upon looks?
No. Nope.
You said it helped, and you just said it.
No. I didn't. When you're a good-looking person.
You're lying now. You're lying. You're backing up.
No, I'm not lying. I'm telling you, when someone is a good-looking person, life's easier for them than when they're ugly and fat. You agree with that?
You could tell that. Absolutely not.
Oh, oh, really?
You know what?
The biggest discrimination we have is against the fat and the ugly. All right, appreciate the call. Oh my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, really? You know what? That's not what.
Once, twice.
What?
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right, that's it for you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Joellen.
Hey, Joellen. Hey, Joellen.
Hey, so, I watched a little bit of Turning Point yesterday, and, I saw Steve Bannon and all those people, talking about Pam. But what do you think about Laura Loomer? Because she's one of Pam Bonnie's biggest...
She's walked that back a little bit. She had a conversation with the president over the weekend. In fact, Laura Loomer has a tweet this morning. She was at Turning Point all weekend in the front row. And let me pull up what she said, okay? Because I retweeted this. It's a long tweet. I just want to read some of it. Hold on, I got it right here.
Yeah, I just came in.
Laura Loomer, she said she was in the front row of Turning Point all weekend, right? And she's good. She's really tight with Roger Stone, who's a mentor of hers, and he was there. She said this: "I don't ever want to hear Charlie Kirk claim he's pro-Trump ever again. After this weekend, I'd say he's revealed himself as a political opportunist, and I've had a front row seat to witness his mental gymnastics these last 10 years. Lastly, Charlie decided to behave like a charlatan, claiming to be pro-Trump one day while he stabs Trump in the back the next." So he started all that stuff. So she talked to the president, and she's walked back this bond. There's been some new information that's come out that I've been talking about all morning.
Okay, I haven't heard the new information, so...
Rewind. Go back and listen to the show, Joellen, and you'll see it. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
He started all that stuff. So
you already know what my name is, bro.
I'm gonna tell you this. You're new to the show, so I let you get some breaks. But if you continue to call, I'm gonna block you and not take your calls anymore. And I don't like to do that. I like to talk to people that give me grief, but enough. There's too many mental patients I'm hearing from today. Now, I want to tell you guys, if you're on hold, stand by. I'll try to squeeze in a couple calls before the end, but I want to talk about the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. I've been sleeping on my 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for years now. You can get it for 30% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, at mypillow.com. It comes in every mattress size, from the smallest mattresses all the way up to the biggest, and every size in between. And it turns your entire bed into one big MyPillow. It fits with straps, a strap on each corner. It never moves. You can't make it move unless you take the straps off. It comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, a 10-year warranty, and it's machine washable and dryable. And if you have a mattress that's uneven, lumpy, bumpy, and you think you need a new mattress, go get yourself the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. You know how much new mattresses cost today. That 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, 30% off with our promo code KANE at checkout, will change the way you sleep forever and ever and ever. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Albus Smith.
All right. All right. That's good. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Don Gainesville.
Okay, Don.
Here's the deal.
Yeah, Don.
Forget about the list. Okay, the list is hidden away. I haven't heard anybody say nobody's got the brains. The list is not available. It's hidden away. You can count on one thing. Democrats, liberals are great at holding back information, withholding. So they've got that going. Whatever the deal may be, it cannot be released. It is missing. I don't know if it's in a cave or underground, in a mountain somewhere. It can't be done. Now, the way Pam Blondie came up and said, well, it's not, they didn't do it the right way. It's not there. It's not the deep state, whoever, the liberals.
All right.
They've hidden it away.
Okay.
What do you say to that?
I've got nothing. I've got nothing to say to you about anything that you say ever, okay? Because you're not worthy of comment. He's a long-time lunatic. He's trying to, in his bizarre way, suck up to try to get more airtime. Boy. Well, listen, today has flown by, but as I've said before, you know, if you're a Trump supporter, if you're MAGA, you got to trust in Trump. And if you can't trust Trump, who can you trust? And Trump said Pam Bondi's doing a fine job. Stop criticizing her. Stop criticizing Cash. Stop criticizing Bongino. And stop talking about Epstein. And he's got good reason to do that. So are you with Trump or not? If you're not, fine. Just say you're against Trump. Don't try to act like you're MAGA and then go against Trump. You can't do both. Going against Trump cancels out the MAGA part. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. All right, guys, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, and you can catch my next podcast episode. I'll have a new podcast later today, which I do live right here on YouTube, and I take calls on my podcast as well, so make sure you click that notification bell. All right, this is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll talk to you next time. Take